Yeah, that is a blender. If you know, you know. Right, muckers, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, good to have you along. Now, my inbox has been overflowing with questions saying things like, Mucker, when are you going to do that one? Have you done that yet? Have I missed this? When can you do that one? Is that the next project?
What's going to be done with this?
So, listen. This episode is basically one big question time, and the next project that we do will be down to you. So here's the quandary. What we've basically got is that the parts have arrived for the Great Wall pickup, so we can now carry on with that, get that rebuilt up, and then put it to the test. Now, we've got all the bits that we need to fix this again. So we can put all these in the actual hub. We've got another the drive flange bit that can bolt on there, which engages on there. We've got to just give it a little bit of a treatment on there, just a little bit of a touch, so that can fit back on there, which we can do with a disc cutter. You don't need to worry about the rust. That'll come off there lovely with a grinder. We can also take that lip off there. Anyway, this is the hub and the brake disc and everything of the Great Wall. That obviously in there is full of shit. Well, it's grinding paste basically. It's all the remnants off the end of that cap and also the drive shaft. So we can clean that all out, and then, as I said, all those bits and whatever, they can go in there, and we can see what the Great Wall actually performs like. And then also we have got that spare steering box from the Aston Martin or Triumph left-hand drive, so we could actually put that on the dumper, make another bracket up, find a steering wheel to stick on top, and that was not an issue. And then in theory we could then try and do a willet start on the dumper. So basically, if we take this, which is the spare off dumper number 2, and we make a bracket to mount that under dumper number 1, as it's left-hand drive, all we've got to do is find a steering wheel. We can do that. Basically, we could get dumper number 1 to a point where we can steer it. And if we can steer it, we can push start it. And if we can push start it, we can go for a willet start. And then, of course, we've got the willet start of the Priestman excavator, which is basically half dragline, half hydraulic excavator. Now, that was dragged out of a yard, trees growing through it, dragged onto the truck, now back at another yard where we can actually get round it to actually see what's there and what's right or wrong with it, and we could do a willet start on that. This is going to be the subject of the next willet start. You'd get the Ruston Bucyrus drag lines and whatever, and you'd get Priestmans. Now obviously in the US, as you've seen, they had like Northwests, Lima, Bucyrus Erie, Marion, Manitowoc, stuff. They had low end of different like drag lines and cranes, where we basically had Ruston Bucyrus and Priestman. They were the main ones. Like I said, you're seeing as much of this as I am. But one thing I've noticed, look, so those track pads and everything, if you look, they look like a drag line, don't they? They're not like a crawler on, you know, a digger type crawler. Do you see what I mean? An old type of undercarriage. However, if you look in here, so that's where the boom is. But look at this. Now that, to me, looks like where you'd have like a big winch drum or something in there, and then you'd have had like the boom and whatever on the drag line. It looks to me as if they've just taken an old drag line from that point down here up to here and said, I'll tell you what we'll do, let's take all the winch gear out and let's put a hydraulic boom in there. That's what it looks like to me. Now the engine, I think that's a Ford 4D, isn't it? Like well, basically like a major, you know, Ford's Major engine. That's what it looks like. Is that some... So that's some sort of engage... You've actually got to engage the hydraulic pump by the looks of it. Man, this is a real mix between, as I said, a drag line and some hydraulic excavator. You see here again, look, there's the bits to put the bot, I suppose, like your top of your jib. If you got, you know, the jib on a drag line. If it's on 2 points, you'd have some cables or whatever coming off here, or cables. I don't, you know. The point is, look, put pins through here and here, as if you had a jib on here. It is. I'm sure this is the base of a. You can see a chain drive. The base of an old, like, Priestman drag line or something. That's what they used. Oh, it works. Now I can't remember. In fact, well, I don't know, do I? I was going to say about which does what, but I've never driven a Priestman. I've always only driven a Bucyrus Airy. But it is almost like... So they would be hydraulic levers here, I'm sure. Oh, they're free. That's good. But then, as I said, you've got a fucking hand clutch like you'd have in a drag line. And this in a drag line, again... I can't remember, but it's something like pushing and pulling this would then allow it to slew or something. I don't know. Like I said, I genuinely don't know, because this is different to any other drag line that I'd have driven. But there's obviously a crossover between the two. Do you see what I mean? We'll try this new hydraulic system. You know, you've got to remember, they've come away from cables and drums and clutches and stuff, and they've gone to this hydraulic boom. So there we go, muckers. It's down to you. The choice of what we're going to do next. Put your answers, well, you know where to put them, in the script pit below, in the comment section below this video, and that'll be the next project that we work on. There'll be other videos in between that, obviously, but you choose the next one. So, there we are, muckers. What's going to be next? Is it going to be the Hunker Chunker Great Wall pickup? Is it going to be the steering box on the dumper? Or that Priestman Will It Start on the old excavator? It's up to you. Put your answers in the old script pit below. Hey, dog? And we'll see which one is most popular. Right, there we go, muckers. Until the next one. Do well.